I don't know what's going on. I'm being more awake and awake and awake and awake and awake. As I think about psychiatric racism, I gotta talk about Dr. Jolly West. Dr. Jolly West was a psychiatrist and connected with CIA. He was a mind control. I think Alice Jones talked about this man, but none of folks do not know that this man was Timmy McVeigh, you know, the one who did the Oklahoma bombing, doctor, and supported his defense team when Timmy McVeigh was in prison, I think before, because he was getting crazy. He had two split personality where he was working for the government, supporting the government in front of him, and then actually going against the government. And a lot of us know at UCLA, and I'm gonna bring Michael Jackson up in here because Michael Jackson had his nose done there. Michael Jackson's daughter, Paris, was raped there. Yeah, after Michael Jackson died, remember she had psychiatric issues. She was raped at UCLA. Okay, now I'm not trying to be the Rhonda, what's her name, Alana Vazant up here with Tamar Braxton, but I'm trying to call the ugly person out like we call R. Kelly out. Okay, now we gotta put Dr. Phil and Dr. I see this sense this eugenics movement in that doggone thing, and I want Nina. I want Nina Kimberly. Hear me out, baby. Hear me out. You need to do research on Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil was also considered by the National Alliance of Mental Illness that they hear he was unethical when his show came out. I mean, 2001, I believe, and he made a remark toward it. It's on his Wikipedia, okay? They were critical of Dr. Phil. But let's focus on Dr. Jolly West and UCLA. Okay. And I'm going to bring up black and brown racism in African American descendant criminals and along with Latino criminals in LA. That's why it's black and brown racism. Now, CIA, crack cocaine. Hold up, y'all. There's a brother on YouTube who exposed this that crack was made at UCLA. Okay? Michael Jackson had his nose done at UCLA. Michael Jackson's daughter got raped at UCLA when she had psychological issues when she was living with Catherine. Okay? Now, a lot of us don't make the connection. Okay, so this too, Dr. Jolly West was, I think, was being two faced because I think I read that he was with the civil rights movement. And remember, folks understand, schizophrenia was used during the civil rights movement, saying that African Americans and the people, our people, had schizophrenia for fighting, just like Detromania. Okay, this I see about treasure situation here. Please read about the bell curve, Charles Burry. This was a lot of white supremacists like the Colin Falter getting their ideas from. All right, bell curve, eugenics movement. Okay, that's why I'm a pro-life liberal. Margaret Sack. Now, y'all didn't understand. A lot of these are cold words y'all need to start looking at. Okay, Dr. Lewis Jalon, but they call Jolie West, was also had these violent centers where they put the youth of African American, Hispanic, most of course mostly Mexican, but other Latino in LA in these areas. They would do. I'm not mistaken. They do some shock treatment or they give medications. You know, mind control their brains, saying they're violent by nature, all us. So that's why in LA, I'm glad while I'm watching this there's so much black on brown racism, and a lot of these brothers, Latino brothers, are also mind control, the most violent criminals besides what happened in the crack epidemic during the 80s, where Bush and Reagan administration, a lot of folks ain't looking at this. Please, if you do anything about black on brown racism, I wouldn't be shocked that Steve King is connected with this mess, okay? Dr. Jolie West did a is a evil psychiatrist and did a lot of things. So when you see this treasure on Dr. Phil, it seems to me since Dr. Phil left Oklahoma, was raised in Texas, as I read, and then moved. One thing he was also homeless, I also know. Okay, he moved to, and his first wife, she said that he was controlling. He trying to make her the dude sitting, say she was, he was extremely controlling, as I read in that Wikipedia about Dr. Phil. His second wife, that's what he married to now. Okay, and so if your first wife had issues with you, Dr. Phil, and then the National Alliance of Mental Illness say you was unethical and stuff, y'all shocked about Dr. Phil bringing treasure up in here, but it seems to me Dr. Phil is copying off Charles Murray, Bell Curve, and Dr. Of course, we have the Samuel Cartwright, the William syndrome, uh, Bush, I mean, excuse me, Rush, Benjamin Rush, who was into putting race in psychology. Okay, father, called the father of modern psychology, and you also have Samuel Cartwright. All these folks look in detail in eugenics movement, and they use schizoaffective disorder. That's why I was bipolar. Before I was diagnosed with that, when I was trying to get out of my grandmother's house, I remember telling my doctor all the episodes that was true, actual events. And this dude said that I had schizoaffective disorder back 10 years ago, which makes a lot of sense. When they put me in Vega, it slowed me down. I couldn't perform well on the job. I mean, yes, that's why that dark skinned sister at the gas station with Mantis Spanman back in 2011 was giving me hell. And then she knew my diagnosis, but still was acting ugly towards me. Okay? So it makes sense that Dadi Sakar and my psychiatrist is suspected to be Creole in Italian from New Orleans, and he's crazy and rude. And even I'm glad I'm seeing online people are complaining of this doctor. I want to mention his name. I got rid of this doctor in 2014. I have a new doctor, but that doctor it seemed to be friends with that dude just being nicer towards me. I don't trust this new doctor. They was calling me yesterday to go appointment with a new caseworker, and I have an appointment on coming. And I'm not going. I'm just MHRA is getting on my nerves. I don't trust. As you're reading about dental media and history and all this, you start to look at things deeper instead of trying to solve the issues in your own personal life. Putting your own medication and keep you in the state you in is a very destructive situation. It's like putting someone on crack and they assume they got $1,000,000 and they don't. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so point is, now, as I'm looking into this situation, it seems to me Dr. Phil was trying to be Dr. Jolie West on that treasure situation. And Dr. Jolie West, he's deceased, he died at 99 when I was going on 20 years old. This man is sick. Well, sick, excuse me, because in UCLA, besides them making crack cocaine, which the CIA helped promote, and also bought drugs from Latin America. That Trump keep talking about the bad hombres and raping the women in Mexico City is best. Excuse me, first of all, don't bring Latino immigrants, document or not, who are not involved in that mess. Y'all went there back in the 60s and 70s and doing after the civil rights movement, the civil rights movement passed, to go down Latin America and the Caribbean, went to them Voodoo, Santeria, Santa Muerte, Palmayabe folks who don't have no conscience of this and got them involved. So don't sit here and blame the ones who are not part of this shit, okay, with that mess, Donald Trump. Now, my question is, I did not say, speaking of Donald Trump, Fox News is owned by Trump supporters. And don't forget that, what's the name? A lot of folks don't understand. Abortion is legal not due to a Democrat, although LBJ seems suspect about Kennedy's death and H.L. Hunt along with Nation Islam. A lot of folks don't understand. It seemed to me, and I'm going to be real, it seemed to me that a lot of folks are very ignorant about this. The truth of the matter is, Richard Nixon was the one who's Republican, Watergate allowed abortion to be legalized. And it was about women's rights. Okay, to all my liberals, listen to this. Like, majority of the feminists was against Margaret Sanger, did not like her rhetoric, and felt it was anti-woman to preach abortion, but in contrast, but she was doing it to lower the population control, eugenics, okay, and the psychology. A lot of folks don't look at this. And what was Richard Nixon's reason why to Roe versus Wade? to get rid of black bastards. The real reason why the Right to Life movement focused on the white community is to promote white birth rates because the majority of color were growing in the white population, especially the whites, were dying out, especially when they started social segregating themselves during the 1960s instead of going to private schools, prior to evangelical schools, should I say. Okay? Now, as we look into CIA, we know Bush, the first president, not say first president, it's not first president, Bush, the president, was also was the head of CIA during Reagan. And if Dr. Jolie West was involved in UCLA, I see why that in crack cocaine was made there before it hit the streets. It's very in population control. And then you wanted to bring African American Hispanic folks to fight each other in the crack cocaine, and that's what's going on. And I bet those guys, and I'm going to be speculating up here, that the men that he did diagnosis with who are African American Hispanic was part of the crack epidemic. Now y'all know I talk about black and brown racism. I always criticize both of my communities. You know, I'm not Mexican, but I'm part of the Hispanic, Spanish Creole. One of my four grandfathers are Rial on my mama's side of the family. So you know what I'm saying? So therefore, don't okay. So the real reason why I criticize both communities many times say you're causing genocide not against each other for white supremacy, but towards your own race or your own people, whatever, selling crack cocaine, whatever. But guess what? Next thing we find out that CIA was involved. We already knew that, okay? But Dr. Jolie West was the psychiatrist involved in these violent centers were mostly of African American and Latino men and boys. So now you see why the prison complex in California is full of African American and Hispanic descendant men. Now you see why they get, and this all is the reason why they're promoting the black and brown racism. They probably using Cardi B in this situation. You know, she's not making. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, all right. There's agenda for everything because that was causing genocide against both communities. They don't want a flourish African American descendant people because we're mixed with white and American as well, and also Hispanics who mix with Spanish and black as well. That family tree, Afro Latino. They don't want to see the population of control or population of people of color because during the civil rights movement, okay, that was supposed to promote minorities to be in a higher rank economic path as white people who was a higher class. So they saw threats today. They used Richard Nixon, they used abortion, they used eugenics, and they used CIA involved. Because see, remember, I tell a lot of people, those cops that you see that's killing folks of white who are white in LAPD, okay, understand that a lot of folks went to LA because African American people went to LA to be free and went to California. I have cousins. I'm not gonna tell all my friends, okay, because segregation was so harsh. It's in like and they went to New York and Chicago. They went to LA in California. They was able to do things they couldn't do in the South and everything else. They had freedom. So what did LAPD do? They recruit people in the South who are white supremacists who were to be cops and brought them in and put them in charge. And I wouldn't be shocked that Dr. Jolie West was involved with the CIA and stuff. So, you want to know why a lot of African American and Latino men locked up in violence? It's not by nature. If you had a doctor who control and these cholo and these brothers up in here being controlled by Dr. Jolie West, because don't forget Dr. Jolie West was also Dr. Tim McVeigh's doctor who also supported his defense team. He was in trouble with the law. So my question is, why did that violent white men it was able to get out and bomb that government? Of course, the government is evil sometimes, but it doesn't. Like I was telling somebody the other day, it is not your job to kill a building full of people over what you have feelings of the government. That's wrong. Those innocent people had nothing to do with that mess. Okay, and we're trying to blame the Raven people before 9/11. Yes, back in '95, that's around Selena had got killed. I always see it something weird about that. When Selena got killed, the next couple of weeks later, the Oklahoma City bomber. When Aaliyah was killed in an airplane crash, next thing you had 9/11. Something weird about that time. Yes, baby, that's something weird about that mess. Yes, it is. Okay, now, so you know, it was real. When Selena was killed, okay, by Yolanda Saldivar, A couple weeks later, in April, you had the Oklahoma City bombing. When you had the what's it called? What do you call that thing? Jesus. We had the 9/11. Okay. Before that, Aaliyah got killed in an airplane crash. It's something weird about those two women's death and also how they died. And then next these disasters, these horrific events happen that hurts our country. It's weird about that. I see a connection with that mess. Now, as I'm saying here, I do believe that Dr. Phil probably was inspired, in my opinion, by not Bush, excuse me, Benjamin Rush, okay, Samuel Cartwright, Willie Lynch, Charles Coclock Jones, and of course you can put Marcus Sackner in the situation as well with the Eugenics movement. You know what I'm saying? And also too with this Lewis Jolly West character who was 19 part of the crack epidemic in UCLA. I'm glad I didn't go to college at UCLA. When I was in when I was a kid, I wanted to go to college at UCLA, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I was going to move to LA before I wanted to move to New York. So I'm glad I did not go to UCLA. And then as Michael Jackson had his nose done there, and the next thing you hear Paris Jackson, his daughter, getting raped and abused there, that don't seem to be a good place to go. When they also make crack epidemics and they also making drugs, doing psychological practice, mind control gimmicks on our men of color, of African American and Latino descent, and who that's why you have violent criminals locked up in those prisons in Folsom, San Quentin, and go like it is, because and they teaching the young ones, young brothers, young Latino brothers who don't know anything, who come from broken homes. It seemed to me this is no for real. I had to bring it up. And Dr. Phil moved to LA. Was Treasure went to D Town, okay, into LA. So something weird about that. Do y'all have any connection of this? Even though Dr. West is deceased, okay, something is weird. Connection will be 20 years of his death. Something is weird of this situation, and I do see a connection with Dr. Phil in the scientific and psychological racism he did with Treasure mom and Treasure and her brother on there, and I do think that there's some connection of that. But when I did research on this, man, I'm serious. I was shocked to find out that the Michaels. I always believe that Alex Jones bullshit because I think he exaggerates as well. And he's also Charles the Republican as well. It's kind of shocking. However, I feel that the mind control doctor who was involved in cults, okay, and everything else, he was involved in cults, like he was a psychiatrist for cults as well. But I do see when they start saying, when they went, and y'all know I am very hard about black and brown racism in the black and brown community, okay? Black and brown love, and you know I'm a diehard uh, trying to get rid of this problem, okay? All right. And a shout out to my Latino brothers and sisters who shouted me out on the video about Mexican rappers and me and my support. Hey, yo canto en español también, okay? Yo soy mis cargas español, español, mi sangre también. Yo soy parte latino también, pero yo soy moreno también. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest, you know what I'm saying? So therefore, so point is, of course, I'm gonna show mi corazón para raperos mexicanos, mexicoamericanos, latinos. You know what I'm saying? Because yo canto en español también. Yo soy morenito, de raza mixta también, parte latino también. ¿Comprendes? Okay, come on now, right? And start speaking Spanish up here. Truth of the matter is, okay, que yo no soy raza, no soy raza pura, yo soy raza mixta, yo soy mixto, no soy puro. I mean, somos afroamericanos, somos mixtos, no parte afroamericanos, no somos puro afroamericanos que tenemos raíces mixtas, sangre mixta, tú sabes, verá, hello, it's called like it is. Something tells me, and I'm be honest with you, I had to go there. That's why I don't have that, you know what I'm saying? And I know my history about the Southwest has started because of slavery, white supremacists from America, United States of America going to Mexico, is taking their land to bring slaves in along with Texas. Well, that's why I don't have no black and brown races in my heart. I know that if I was living in racist Texas, Republic, well, it's Texas, racist down, Republican Texas, or either Confederate Texas, That Rio Grande is my refuge. Okay, so I know the history of the Black Seminoles, where they went to Oklahoma, where this McGraw guy, this Phil McGraw, Dr. Phil is from. Okay, Indian Territory. Um, they had to go to Mexico to get away because they had the white in Native American one who had a Apple Coon mindset trying to slay them there in the territory. So that's the whole reason why I know my history. And to find the truth is the Bible says the truth will set you free. That's why. So I'm letting you know there's a lot of connections, and he's from the South. Besides Oklahoma, he's from the South, from Texas too. And I'm sorry, a lot of these rednecks got love to tell like it is. Let me answer. I saw North Dallas. I want to remind folks about Oprah, and I do see connection with that too. Remember, and back 20 years ago, Oprah, I'm not eating hamburgers no more, and she came to North Texas and had her show there in Arlington. I believe it was at Arlington or what was it? Amarillo, one of those states. I mean, states and cities. Was it near Dallas or either the Panhandle? Okay, and they very racist up there. No, for real, they very racist. My brother was telling me when I used to work at Macy's and come back from downtown on a Saturday, and he was a homeless brother. He was a ex felon. He's with a old school brother. Okay, told me when he was up there in the Panhandle area as a prisoner, the white uh, construction. I mean, we call it correction officers was referred to as niggers. Okay, yeah, yeah. This when we talk about prior prison complex and 13th Amendment, please take notion. That's what I tell our young brothers and Latino brothers too who are young. Stop being didn't do nothings. Stop being thugs and cholos and gangsters. Okay, stop doing that mess. Stop being wankster trying to be gangster. Stop that mess, cause you set yourself a failure. Okay, all right. Well, as I read about Dr. Phil, North Texas, I'm putting two together. Oprah had a court case when she said she no longer eating hamburgers no more. And I was graduating high school. And forget this back in '98, and she won. Did she meet Dr. Phil in that era? I want to ask that question, baby. I got a lot of questions. I got more than one question, like the 50th song. Okay. So, you know what I'm saying? We hit the girl, you know what I'm saying? Hit that ablation, Latino talking about, dark skin ablation, Latino, Tyson Bedford in it. Okay. Yes. You about to fight him in the prison. Okay. My question is, all right. Did she meet Dr. Phil in North Dallas, North Texas, when she had that court case to fight against the white people who was offended by her saying she's not longer eating hamburger? They said it was by her saying that. They said they were stopping her. They were stopping them having the sales of the cows and beef and everything because Oprah, they was trying to get rid of her, bash her because she's a sister. That's called her is, okay? So I'm gonna bring the race card. And yes, I will bring it's the truth, okay? So I'm thinking, did she meet Dr. Phil back in '98, pushing 2000s, when she was dealing with that mess? Because Dr. Phil was in that area being a psychiatrist before he went to LA. Oh, yeah, I had to call that out, baby. Yeah, but I put a lot of dots together. I want to know that because it seems that's how he got to know Oprah, the cloud chase for her. Okay, and I do see connections of this. I really do. I think that Dr. Phil, in my opinion, when he moved to LA, especially being from the South, okay, was inspired by Dr. Jolie West. I don't see him any connection as I did research at UCLA where crack epidemic was built. Okay, let's call it Bay, excuse me. And so in the ghettos of barrios of LA, in LA County, where they can lock African American men and Hispanic men, and this what causes black and white because I bet they mind control that those guys to hate each other due to Dr. Jolie West. I had to come before the Michael LaRasa and xenophobia and all other stuff, colorism and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I do see a connection in that. And because remember, let me tell you, African American descendant people and Hispanic people were mostly united during the civil rights movement. Okay, You had the Brown Birds, you had the Young Lords, you had the Black Panthers, you had the Chicano Nationalists and the Black Nationalists. They were together. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't this so separate. They had a little issue here, but it wasn't extreme. But remember, both communities started to drive in their birth rates. Whether it was some people married or they had baby, they had mama issues, don't matter. They start to overthrow the white population, and that's where the crack epidemic started coming in. Okay? This when the abortion industry started pushing, and you notice that abortion clinics are mostly in African American, Hispanic, descent neighborhoods and white fraternity. So you understand why do when we had the both Bushes and we have Trump now doing this legacy, why they never tried to abolish abortion? If abortion is so much a deep issue, and I do agree with it is a deep issue, causes genocide, African people as well. My question is to those Bushes, the daddy and the son, if you were so concerned about this issue, why during your presidency, you did not abolish abortion? What was the issue with that? I would love to ask that question because during the Gore and Bush campaign 2000, back in 2000, and I'm a Catholic, okay? I'm a convert to Catholicism. I met many white Catholics who wanted to put Democrat. They told me straight up, but the real reason why they would not vote Democrat is because of abortion. And I never forget this. And I do watch EWTN, but I do not like Mother Angelica's argument. This is why I didn't vote back in 2000 during the Gore and Bush. I know I didn't. I didn't vote. I didn't vote because I didn't want to support Bush because I didn't like his ass, and I did not support Gore. I liked Gore's rhetoric except for the idea of abortion. Okay, I did not vote. Let me explain why. That's the reason why. Okay, but every time I talk to a white person who wanted to vote for Gore, they will bring up abortion. And you might say because eugenics and they don't want the white population to go down. That too. But it is a moral issue. It does mess with your conscience when you vote for someone who want to kill babies in the womb, okay? That's why they vote. Now, but at the same time as I got older, I would say why in Bush legacy you never got rid of it. If Obama can make gay marriage legalized, okay? Then you can also make abortion go away. But abortion was not legalized by a Democrat. Okay, it was legalized by a Republican named Richard Nixon, and he said that he wanted to get rid of black bastards. Okay, because the woman from Roe vs. Wade, she regret if those don't know, the woman who led to Roe versus Wade, she became a Christian. She regret having that happen. Okay? Folks don't tell you about that part. Okay? Now, a lot of folks ain't looking at this, okay? And I'm bringing a lot of the tea up, and a lot of folks, we're talking education up here, okay? Education shit, okay? Forget the Cardi B and Nicki Minaj situation. We're talking about something real, okay? Now, as Young Turks exposed, the founder of Fox News, who interviewed Nixon, is friends with Nixon, and he is a white supremacist. Now, as I found out, Dr. Jolon West, Louis Jolie West, that was his nickname Jolie, because Jolon, his middle name, was a conservative and also connected with the CIA. So, you see why where we at right now? During the crack epidemic, when Easy E and everybody was talking about this, and y'all know Easy E had dinner with the Bushes. But before that, former LAPD white cop at C-SPAN, when they're talking about the black, the stuff going to the black community, and was later on mysteriously died. Why did, yeah, and he supposed that LAP was in with the CIA bringing crack cocaine to black neighborhoods, and I will also add addition to on this end in Hispanic neighborhoods too to get lock brothers up and like let's call it like it is because 13th Amendment prior principle. That's why they promote the death culture in gangster rap, Suge Knight, along with Jerry Heller and Rufus Records. That's why they did it. Jimmy Iovine. This is the problem that a lot of folks ain't looking at. Y'all wonder why the music industry has turned over backwards? Blame that, okay? The secret meeting. to lock minority youth up in this reason why. And I think they had something to do with Dr. Jolie West. Now you see Dr. Phil today. Hello. Now, as we can see the situation with Richard Nixon's friend who owns Fox News, I think he's the one who died, okay? You see why we got Trump as president right now? And we're talking about race is a big topic here. It's all preserving the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant situation. That synagogue was bombed or was had terrorist attacks, recently, okay? Because Jews. Do you know the reason why you have white racist Jews? You forget the NAACP had white Jewish people with them on our side, okay? Not against us. White Catholics were on our side. But when they got threatened by WASP people in the United States, they had to give up their Jewish and Catholic faith and follow their rhetoric and turn back against us. That's the reason why you hear about the Italians and Irish don't like black people mess. Not all, but a lot of folks don't remember Italians and Irish were not considered white. Okay, that's why Martin Luther King's grandmother, as they say, on his dad's side was a white Irish mother. A lot of Irish men did, like in Muhammad Ali's great grandfather, not rape, did marry black women. Okay, because Muhammad Ali's great grandfather was an Irish man, last name Clay. Okay, so was it Clay or Grady? I think it was Grady, something like that. I forgot what it was. Anyway, so point is, a lot of folks do not look at this. So, and so I'm proud. I'm part Irish. My fourth grandmother was Irish and English. McCombs, okay. Besides the bug, okay. I mean, y'all being Bacon Rebellion, okay. So that's why, okay? But remember, a lot of folks that know that white German people who are Catholic came to Texas and was against slavery. That's why you have so many African see people with German background here in Texas besides the Marian Mexican. We may have the accordion Mexican Mexican music like the Hama music and Norteño. It's because of the Germans coming to Texas and Mexico and intermixing with Mexican people. It's what a lot of folks don't know that interracial marriage, okay? So a lot of folks need to do their research, okay? Now, even Zydeco Music and Creole, they came to Louisiana and mixed over there too, okay? I could be German. Okay, but anyway, point is, so a lot of people do not know that, their history. When they got threatened by white Anglo-Saxon Protestant people, white people who are racist, who either are Jew or Catholic, and we see dynamic with Jerry Heller and also Jamie Iovine and the other guy that was with him telling Tupac not to promote Brenda Got a Baby, okay? They start to all remain relevant and get money. And remember about the synagogue. White people who are Catholic or Jewish who ignore, they defend their white privilege over their faith. Okay? So anti-Semitism has been going on extremely but ignored unless you're a minority, like what happened with No Vaseline, um, Ice Cube with Jerry Heller, okay? Unless you attack the Catholic Church, like Khalid Muhammad did, with the Pope. Unless you're of color doing that mess, that's the only time you get treated. I am a Catholic, okay? I am very upset with the diocese here in Houston. When I was going through my situation with my own family and there were anti-Catholicism and stuff, the priests here did not show didn't show me love here, including those of color, okay? So, including African and black as well as I'm gonna go like it is. But the white ones did not show me no refuge or anything, especially in the downtown churches. I'm gonna put their ass on blast. They were woven in sheep clothing. They actually enabled the abuse that I was going through. They eat us against our faith. Okay, so get my point. In order to stay relevant in society, put your Jewish, your white Catholic, your Jewish and Catholic faith aside. Join the white party, but we gonna always treat you like trash. That's why you have the ones who of those faiths, like the Jeanette, what's her name? Jeanette, what's her name? One that Whoopi Goldberg get into. She's Piero. Yeah, I'm talking about her name. She's Italian. She's Sicilian. Her. You have the what's the one Irish Catholic? Sean Kennedy, and uh, what's the name? O'Reilly, Bill O'Reilly. You have them folks. Do you think they know their faith goes against that on Fox News? But to ought to get money instead of in white America, white Protestant America, you got to copycat them. Now, when y'all see the Jews in charge of Hollywood, and shout out to David Goldberg, who written How to Deal with White People, who's a white Jew, and y'all want to know why there's racism in Hollywood? It's not because they're Jewish. Remember, folks understand these are secular Jews. These are not those who go to synagogue and worship at the temple. You're talking to those who grew up like that, but they adapt to white Anglo-Saxon Protestant culture, okay? You know what I'm saying? And like Howard Stern, okay, with his racist self, okay, racist ass. So the folks with that mentality who control Hollywood, the reason why they choose white supremacy in the music, listen, okay, why they don't promote Mexican rappers, Latino rappers, along with African American and collabing with them. Canelo, please listen to what I'm saying. No offense to bring his name up in here. You ask with Calvin Rodriguez, SPM, part Mexican, part white Spaniard. White said on the Chicago Latino Raps YouTube interview, it's the head people in charge. It's not them making decisions. And I'm glad I did not go to a major record label because of this issue. They're the head ones in charge. The people who the artists have no control. As I said about Nicki Minaj, she had a 360 contract. She is who she is because they made her who she is. Let's be real, okay? Nicki Minaj, as Maria Ma said in that song Sheether, she's independent. Nicki Minaj is a motherfucking worker. She is controlled. Young Money, the people on top at Atlanta Records, all are getting her check before she gets it, okay? They make her who, all them wigs and stuff, copycat and Little Kim style. That's the reason why she's what she is. A lot of folks ain't looking at this. Okay? Now, I don't want nobody to control me. I want to be my own person and market my own talent. Okay? Now, as we're talking about this, y'all don't look at this a whole big picture. Okay? So going back to Fox News, and I mentioned white Catholics and white Jewish who go on white Anglo-Saxon Protestant racist culture. The reason why that synagogue was ignored about these anti-Semitism because a lot of white people who are Jewish who buy into the culture ignore that until it gets extreme. Okay? Say that those who are Catholic and ignore it. They don't care. They can say any anti-Catholicism, any anti-Catholic, anti-Semitic slur if it's not as long as they ain't coming from a person of color, like what happened No Vaseline with when Jerry Heller was going after Ice Cube with that stuff. Okay, you know what I'm saying? That's all what it is. Okay, is why. So, but the people in Hollywood are not true Jews. I'm not talking because they're not the black Jews. I want bringing that doggone Hebrew Israelite stuff. I'm talking about as in faith because you know in the Torah that is not a way to live your life, being racist and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's not a Jewish thing to do, okay? So please look at people as individual folks when you make these anti-Semitic arguments, okay? You know what I'm saying? So point is, they adapted to white culture. In order to stay relevant, you have to cater to white culture. Remember, you might control Hollywood, but you don't control the country. Listen, as I said, you control Hollywood in the music industry, but you don't control the country. This country was, when it got started by Native American ancestors, was made for white, straight, and bring up orientation as well, white, straight, Protestant American males. This country, when they say this is my country, they're talking about sovereignty, okay? Sovereignty. We're talking about human rights and freedom, liberty. They're talking about sovereignty, owning property, okay? You know what I'm saying? That's what you don't understand. They forget a black Native American man, biracial man, Christopher as the reason why we celebrate 4th of July, okay? They forget that, okay? But it's about white, straight, white American Protestant, especially conservative Protestant, Bill, sovereignty. Okay, so if you're because you control a small portion of the country, Tinseltown, aka Hollywood, listen, y'all. You have to cater to the masses of those people. And the reason why you have colorism, racism, and white people in charge. A lot of people are not looking at this. And shout out to ESPN's wife, his second wife, Carolyn Rodriguez Croy, who is a white woman, part Spain Anglo woman. She called it like it is. Before y'all start blasting and Canelo, everybody, look at this, y'all. Cardi B and all y'all, and colorism and Mala Negra and all other stuff. Excuse me, okay? They are catering to a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant masses, even though that's becoming the minority, okay? Understand that, okay? But these white Jews know in that Torah the stuff they're doing is not going on with their actions. So money, the love of money, is what Saint Paul, who was a Christian Jew, okay, said is the root of all evil. The love of money, okay. So understand that's the whole reason why y'all not looking at this. It's Tinseltown is small. It takes the culture. Yeah, white Jewish people who own stuff, but they don't control the country. It is white American Protestant folks who do since Plymouth Rock. Okay, but if you're white or Catholic or Jew, you are tempted to adapt to the culture. Put your faith to the side and adapt to this paganistic white Anglo Protestant male culture. Okay, that's racist and sexist and everything else. So that's what folks. So you hear the CIA. Okay, that's the whole reason why. So before anybody say anything about Dr. Phil, you need to look at a big picture. That's why I talk about the big picture of this. And I see connections of Dr. Jolie West and Dr. Phil in this mess. That's all I gotta say.